So in Sidh Gosht, Guru Nanak Dev Ji starts off with a Vastu Nirdesh Mangal, which actually is very popular in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It is Ik Onkar Satgur Prasad. Now, Onkar actually appears in the Vedas many times, Upanishads, Gita, Ramayana. There were a few examples that Swamiji gave, Mandukya Upanishad, Sarvam Onkar Eva, Gita Vedyam Pavitram Onkara. If you want to check it, that's chapter 9, stanza 17. Actually, Dakhani Onkar is a Bani by Guru Nanak Dev Ji as well. And if right at the beginning of Dakhani Onkar, if you have it in front of you, Ramkali Mahalla Pehla, Dakhani Onkar, Ik Onkar Satgur Prasad. The first stanza is on Onkar. Onkar Brahma Utpat, Onkar Kiya Jinchit, Onkar Sair Jug Pai, Onkar Ved Nirmay, Onkar Sabd Udhare, Onkar Gurmukh Tare, O Nam Akhar Sunaho Vichar, O Nam Akhar Tripavanasar. So there is so much mehma of this word Onkar, and it's the beginning of Guru Granth Sahib Ji as well. It means that there is only one Ik Onkar. So we'll go into Onkar a little later, but the Ik in front of Onkar is referencing that there's only one Onkar, that there is only a oneness. However, there's a fundamental problem when you think about this. You don't include yourself in the equation. When you say there is oneness, there is one God, you don't include yourself in the equation, and you become a separate thinker. There's one God. Everything else is one, but here's me, number two. So Kabir actually talks about this as well, that subconsciously the thought of two forms, even when you say Ik, they say Ek kaho to hai nahi. If I say Vaheguru is one, then there isn't oneness, because I'm someone saying it and then there's something being said about. Do kaho to gari. But if I say God is two, that's like cursing Vaheguru. Hai jaisa taise lakhe kahyo Kabir bichari. So what's the solution? That you experience the oneness. It's not a topic to be talked about. It's to be experienced. And perhaps this is the reason why Ik appears as a number and not as a word. The Ik in front of Onkar is not written out because it's not supposed to be just said or just thought about. It's an experiential state that you have to reach. Okay, so that's, for example, Swamiji gave a great example here. When a drop is separate from the ocean, it says, oh, there's one ocean. The drop says there's only one ocean. But when the drop becomes one with the ocean, then who says it? And who is there to say it to? When you merge, when there's actual oneness, there is nothing else for you to say there is oneness. It's only when you return out of oneness that you even talk about it in the first place. And now moving on to Onkar. Onkar, the Oang portion of it, in different areas of India, it's pronounced differently. Obviously, in the north, there in the Sikh Sampradaya, in some Tantric Sampradas, in this northeast area, there is a pronunciation of or a nasalated form of it that's without closed mouth, so you get Om. But in other areas of India, you have Om, where the nasal is pronounced with a closed mouth, so you get Om. But essentially, it's formed out of three different sounds, O, A, and Ma. You say Okar, Akar, Makar. And the fourth aspect of the Om or Om mantra is silence, or what we call non-sound, amatra. When you are completely still, there are no thoughts, there are no emotions, there is no movement inside of you, there isn't even the thought that you are sitting there and meditating. There isn't even this thought that everything is still and everything is silent when there's nothing. You will experience a presence that's is experienced like a sound. It's not the same types of sounds that we hear, but in experience, it feels that way. But this sound is unstruck. This sound is not made by the striking of two different things. It's an unstruck sound. It's coming from within, from a source, and that's what we call anhadnad. Then Swamiji here talked, and that's what is heard. When you hear that sound, or when you're in that presence, it sounds very similar to Om, Onkar, Auma. It's very similar to a mixing of these three sounds. And that's why this month, the Auma sound is called Pranav. It's the highest sound representation of God.